God. Hello, everyone. A little bit late, but it's all good. I've got our awesome 2 special guests tonight right here. And I'll just wait for a few people to come on. We're waiting for a few people to come on. I'm just going to get you'll see me on my phone here. I'm just making sure everything's working correctly. So hello, everyone. Everyone's starting to come on now. I know around the world is different times that everyone's coming on. So welcome. So if you're coming in now, we are broadcasting via StreamYard. Okay, so in the comments in this live, you'll see a comment there that you need to click on streamyard.com/Facebook, okay, to give us permission to see your name and comment. So if you've got any questions, any comments whatsoever, any questions, you need to do that so I can see it and then ask the questions, okay? So do that now as we're just waiting for a few people to come on. And then we'll just start it and kick it off there. Hi, Mersha. Hi there. And guys, ladies and gentlemen, in the comments, after you've done the clicked on the streamyard.com/Facebook, click in the comments. Tell us where you're coming in from. I'd love to know where you're coming in from. It's always exciting to see people coming in from all over the globe. So click in the comments and put in where you're coming from, whether it's the UK, Ireland, Singapore, the US, Canada, Hong Kong, Australia, New Zealand, wherever it is. I'd love to see where you're coming in from. Hi there, Ellie. Where are you coming in from? MD Ellie. Where are you coming in from tonight? Well, you're in Auckland. Okay, awesome. Wonderful weather here in Auckland. Raining. Oh, Mish, hi there, Australia. Mia, hi there, Mia, Auckland. Wonderful. So let's kick it off, everyone. Welcome to our Facebook Live. This is for people and everyone actually, because these 2 incredible people have done it a little bit different entering the IT software market. They had no background, no education in IT whatsoever. So nothing like computer science. A lot of people they've got a diploma or a degree or a master's, but they've got they started their kind of journey into the IT sector a little bit differently, like full on into it, just throwing in deep, learn kind of thing. So they actually did our boot camp program. Filip and Antonella did our boot camp program about 3 years ago now, wasn't it, guys? About 3 years? It's gone so fast.
It was 2 years for me.
2 years, and Filip?
I'm a little bit further on, so I've job 2.5, maybe 3.5 years ago.
3.5 years, yeah. So they did our boot camp program, which we now call our preparation program. It was done a little bit different back then. And then they both wanted to be software developers. So that was a long journey for them. But my goodness, they did so well, and they're now working as software developers. So I just want to call each one out and just to share a bit of your story, guys. First, Antonella. Come on out, Antonella. Just share a little bit of your backstory, like where you came from and why did you choose to then change your career into IT?
Sure. So I came from the tourism and marketing industry. I used to work with international students before. And I used to love my job, but I had a daughter, and then that changed my life. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. What can I do? Something different I want to do, not related to marketing, not related to tourism, but something that's going to give me a career in life, a perspective to grow and to work anywhere in the world that is flexible, that you can work from home if you want. And basically the only industry that I could find this huge flexibility and a very broad range of, career development was IT. And then it took me about a year to find out what to do in IT, but I finally decided I'm going to be a software developer. And then I looked for Industry Connect. That's it.
Wonderful. It's so, my goodness, working with international students and then coming into starting off your career as a boot camper right from scratch. Did you know anyone that was a software developer or anything like that? You just was looking for a career pathway that would give you all of that, and then this was it?
And I knew people that were software developers. So before I decided what in IT I wanted to do, I talked to many of them. I talked to BIs, I talked to testers, I talked to software developers, business analysts, lots of people from the IT industry. Right. And they helped me to make my decision.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic. Great. And Filip, now you've got a different background too, a man of many talents.
Yeah.
Tennis coach, everyone. Tennis coach, degree in physiology and sports science. Then next minute, boom, I'm going to be a software developer.
Yeah.
Share a little bit about that, how you came to that kind of like.
So I think it was coming towards the end of my final semester at university, and I wanted to try something a little bit different. So I started giving, Python programming a little go, and then I kind of enjoyed it. So I thought, I've got a summer break now coming up in university, so what could I do? And then I came across Industry Connect, and then went through the boot camp program, learning C# from scratch and everything, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. So coming toward the end of the final semester at university, I thought this is plan A, B, and C. So I'll finish university, get my double major, and then I'll just commit and see what I can do. So go through the whole internship, work part-time as a tennis coach, get the money, and then just go from there.
Wow. Had it all set out, eh?
Yeah, plan A, B, and C had to be done.
Now, guys, starting from scratch, right? What kind of things did you come up against? I mean, obviously you would come up against a lot of things, learning, trying to like learn a lot of stuff. It's not as if, you knew a little bit. Well, you did, Filip, doing Python a bit. What kind of things did you come up against as you were going through this journey? I know it's quite a big process. So what kind of things did you come up against? Antonella?
Okay. You want me to tell you what were the challenges?
Yeah. So what kind of things?
First of all, developing is not easy. It is a very challenging task, but it's so rewarding. I think it balances out. The more challenge it is, the more rewarding it is. So that was my first challenge. It's very hard to develop. If it was easy, there would be so many people in the market, and we don't. So
True.
It was difficult, but I got a lot of support from Industry Connect at that point. I was learning. It was really, really challenging. The amount of knowledge you have to absorb every day, it's enormous. But they gave me the support, for every question I had, for every exercise I was doing. So this helped me a lot. Honestly, this was essential.
Awesome. Fantastic. And Filip, what about you? You're in a bit of a different kettle of fish because you've done some Python, learning C# and stuff like that. How did you find that? Obviously, you'd already learned a bit, so your brain was kind of like in that kind of mode of thinking, being able to learn a programming language.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find it?
In terms of learning, it was sort of, creating little strings here and there with Python. It wasn't, big application development. So I'm not gonna say I did that.
Love your honesty.
It was difficult to kind of visualize, how you're going to connect from A to B, how you see a front end of a screen of a website and how it all connects into the, very back end and your data structures. So I think starting from scratch, understanding how all the components hang together, I struggled with it at the start. But then as I slowly broke it down and with Industry Connect and breaking it down from, from start to the end and how it all hangs together helped me a lot. And then once you get the high level overview and you can understand, how little things, and then you get into the details, So I think that initial learning curve was the hardest for sure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Did you want to say something, Antonella?
No, just that I agree with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first learning curve is the most difficult one.
Yeah.
What do you reckon are some of the things that helped you kind of like keep going? I know, I've spoken to some people that have come against things, and sometimes it can be quite, when you're trying to learn and everything and you're learning all that stuff, it can be a bit emotional sometimes. And I think you do have those roller coaster moments. What kind of things keep you going? Because obviously you kept going, even though, you come up with some hurdles. What kind of tips would you give people that are beginners?
Filip, you go first now.
Okay, sounds good. It's actually in terms of hearing other people's stories that every day in software engineering, and I come to expect that as well, is when I write a piece of code or something like that, I'm not expecting it to fail, but I'm predicting that there's going to be issues with it, and understanding that you're always going to come against this, and it's how you. So something actually Ray mentioned to me is the difference between your top and, as you go through, is how you can Google something, how you can track down what the issue might be. So my advice would be, sorry?
Research.
Yeah, Google's your best friend in this scenario. Yeah, you're going to have to, you're always going to come against the challenges. And the fun part is how you keep going is that, when you run into something that's really bugging you and you're annoyed about it, but then you finally have that kind of, you're like the aha moment. You're like, oh, this is how it actually works, and this is where I was going wrong, and I've missed the syntax here, or etc. It's the moments, when you realize, and then you look back and you realize where you've actually come from. That's how I sort of kept going and over the rest of the hurdles.
What about you, Antonella? Especially being a mum as well. There's a lot of women out there that are coming back into their career. And you did it right from the beginning. So that would have been, it's a lot of balls to keep in the air as you're going.
I think I knew what I wanted, and my daughter was definitely my motivation. But There is something that is addictive about programming. Is like when sometimes you take time to find the issue you have or how to solve a problem. But when you find it, that becomes addictive. You want to do it again and again and again.
Really?
And solve the problems. Yes, you do. It's. I know it sounds crazy, but it is nice if you really know what you want to do, and developing is your answer. Don't give up, because the satisfaction you have when you solve a problem with coding, it's enormous, and then you just want more of it. So that's my experience.
I like that. Knowing your why is a big thing. Why you do something, because the why is going to keep you going, isn't it?
Exactly. You're right.
The vision that you have why you're doing something. That's just the same with everything. If you don't have a strong why, then you can actually fall sometimes as you're going along. You've got to look at that why and make sure that it's a strong why while you're doing something, that it's an internal thing, not an external thing, so that it keeps you driven towards that goal of achieving that outcome you want as being a software developer or a BI consultant or whatever. So,
you're absolutely right. The why is important. Yeah.
So big. Yeah. So did you guys have how did you go about, you've done your boot camp, then you went over into the software developer job ready program side of things. So guys that are watching, anyone that has no background in IT, that wanting to be a software developer, I'm talking about being a software developer now, and has no background, no education or anything like that, you would do our preparation program. Okay, so that's a self-study material, 3 hours worth of consultation with a senior software developer. Okay, and then at the time when you think you've got the fundamentals down pat, that you're ready to be assessed, you are then assessed by a senior software developer to then go over into the software developer job ready program side of things. Okay, just so that you're all very clear on the process if you're a beginner. And I know a lot of you out there, we've had a lot of people that have been registering that are just beginners, because I know a lot of things happened during our lockdown here with everything like that, and a lot of people looked at, I suppose, re-looked, is that a word? Re-looked? They looked at their where the career is going, or what's there now for them, and where is there more of a career pathway that is more future proof. Okay, so what would you guys, when you went over to the software developer side, you did all that, how did you feel about starting to apply for jobs? Because that's another kind of step into after you've done the software developer job ready program. How did you guys feel? Were you confident? Were you a bit apprehensive? Give us some feedback on that, because I know a lot of people are like that sometimes. Philip?
All right, cool. so because I went so I finished my final semester at university, and then I sort of had to pick up all the coding that I'd learned through, I guess, what's called the preparation program now, which was boot camp when I initially did it. So I got thrown in the deep end a little bit with relearning. So at the time it was Angular JS and this and that, and trying to pick up the fundamentals. But then when I started, when I went to Albany and I believe it's Amy Plus. So then in terms of applying for jobs, I was quite nervous, and I knew my CV wasn't up to scratch. So if I don't want to look at it, and I can't imagine an employer wanting to look at my CV. So then it was kind of, in the CV, it's explaining what you're doing, so that they know. Obviously, you're at the start. You're coming from a completely different industry, but a lot of them are very open to different ways of thinking, and it's not necessarily if you've how you approach a problem, how you do the problem solving and things like that. So they're quite open to different ways of thinking, which was good.
I know a lot of employers really look at an attitude of a person as well. Definitely. So you can win an interview on your attitude. Yes, you come in with the technical, it might not be as good as someone, but if you've got the right attitude and they love you, that they can see you fitting into the team, that's a massive plus. Antonella, you've got something to say on that side of things?
That's my case, Carla. I found the interview because of my soft skills. That was my strongest point. The technical skills, I was honest with them. I said, look, I'm a junior. I'm not going to be able to do as much as your other developers, but I am able to learn, and I'm going to do my best, and I really want to work for you, and you will not regret if you hire me. Basically, I was confident in that sense. And we built a good rapport during the interview, which helped me. That gave me the interview, building a good relationship with the people that were interviewing me. And honestly, it was the best thing I did. My soft skills won at that time. And I love my job. I love my team. I love what I do. And I couldn't be in a better place.
Oh, awesome. That's so incredible what you said, eh? It was through your soft skills, and your honesty as well, because honesty goes a long way, everyone, when you're in an interview. I know we talk about this a bit when everyone moves over to the internship. There's different workshops that you do within a week. There's stuff like Team V, which is on communication, and then there's employability and life skills, and a lot of different workshops you do. So one of those components within there is learning your communication skills, your soft skills, because the big thing is to be able to present yourself in a way that a potential employer goes, oh, I really like this person. You've got to have the good soft skills. You could have the best technical, but you've got to have good soft skills as well to be able to come across in an interview professionally, and be able to, like I said, be able to have the employer going, I like this person. I can see them fitting into my team here. So what are you guys doing now? Philip, you were having a bit of a chat with me the other day, and so you're starting to look at climbing into another role. Maybe.
Yeah. So at the moment, I'm still at the company I'm at the moment. It's called an associate software engineer. So That's kind of the exact equivalent to a junior. So I'm looking, hopefully later this year, potentially looking at intermediate. But we'll see, early days.
Yeah.
But just a little comment before about in terms of the interviews and the honesty and things like that. That's also what I found. Because initially I thought I'd bomb my first interview. I thought I'd absolutely, they asked me certain questions about, how certain things hang together, and I wasn't able to answer them. And I honestly said, look, I'm not 100% sure. But they liked that they'd seen that I'd, not necessarily gone to university, but I'd tried to do some self-study on the side, applied for courses, did Industry Connect. So I'd actually gone on my own, little tangent to actually try and improve in this career that I'm at. And so they really liked that, and they liked it, obviously I didn't know some things, but they saw that, I was willing to put in the work. I was willing to commit to this career. And I think that's what really sold it. So sorry to go off on a little tangent there, but I just wanted to add to that point.
No, that's great.
The communication.
Yeah, share away. That's really good. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know that the team actually, we do say, when you're in an interview and you don't actually know the answer, you can say that, like you said, I'm sorry, I'm not quite sure on that, or I'm not 100%, but can I come back to you on that? And come back to them, because they want to see that you have, and when you do come back, they can see that you've done some work, you've done your research, you weren't quite sure on it, but you've come back with an answer. So that's another way in which to handle something in an interview that you're not quite sure on as well.
Definitely. And the people that are normally interviewing you are potentially people that you're going to be working with. So if they can understand that you don't know, but you can communicate with them, and you guys can come to the solution together, that's a big win, because obviously if they're going to be working with you, then they want to understand that, you don't know it off the bat, that's fine. You'll come back, you'll figure it out. You guys can discuss that and go from there.
And you won't be scared coming to them and saying, hey, I've looked at this and I can't find it, can we just work together on it, or can we just have a bit of a chat about this? And you can show them. So no, that's awesome, Filip. Antonella, anything to add to that?
Sorry.
It comes down to attitude, right? Attitude plays a big role in your interview. So go prepared, always willing to learn more, always showing that you like Filip, he didn't know an answer to a question, but he was willing to go and get the answer for them. This shows attitude. It shows you do your best, and you get back to them. You're gonna get an answer for your daily job tasks as well. That's all I have to say. It's more personal. Yeah.
Awesome, Antonella. Hey, everyone that's online, if you're wanting to ask any questions, you can ask questions, but you just need to click on in the comments. There is a link, streamyard.com/Facebook. Click on there and then give permission to see your name and your comment. Then I can actually ask the question, okay? Oh, we've got Carol from Dubai in here. Hello, Carol. How are you? Awesome. Fantastic. Awesome, guys. Good to see all of you in here. So have you got any questions for these two people here? Just put them in the comments there. Wonderful. So if you had to give any advice to someone getting in, like they're looking at they're wanting to change career, guys, right now, what 2 tips would you say to them? What 2 tips would you give them? Antonella?
Okay, I would say practice. Practice is the number 1 tip. Mm-hmm. You learn something in your preparation course or in your job ready. Go home, or wherever you are, wherever you're connected, just research more about it. Find exercises to work on it. Otherwise, if you don't practice, it may take you a long time to get and to understand what you learned. And don't leave it for the next day. Try to do it the same day, as soon as you can, to keep it fresh in your mind. That's my tip number 1. And second, be collaborative. Help your classmates. There are chat groups you can go in, and if you help each other, you show collaborative work. You're gonna have to work collaboratively in the industry when you are out there in the job. So why not to start now and help each other? You know, if I don't know something, but my colleague knows, they can help me, and vice versa, I can help them. It doesn't matter. It's not a competition for who knows more. It is a collaborative work. You help each other, and this makes a big difference. That's it. My tips.
Awesome. And everyone, you get, when you go over into the Software Developer Job Ready program or any of our Job Ready programs, you're added into a Slack channel, okay, where you all are part of that you're in the if you're a software developer or you're a BI data analyst or you're a test analyst, you're all in your own Slack channel, so you can communicate and help each other there. And we do see just beautiful relationships building and being able to help each other within those Slack channels as well. Filip, have you got any tips for people that are starting off and are wanting to get their IT career going? Any tips? 2 tips if you have.
Possibly try and apply your knowledge as soon as possible. So if you've learned something on the day or you've learned something new, try and apply it straight away. And it doesn't have to be, you know, over and over again, but at least once or twice to try and get it into your head. So further on down the track, you know, if it's a problem and you find the way to solve it, maybe just, you know, reiterate that to yourself. And yeah, through that experience, you'll you know, further on be able to solve, you know, more complicated problems, and don't get frustrated. A lot of the times I found if I'm banging my head against the wall for a certain problem, even the intermediates and seniors, funnily enough, they'll have to have a think about it, and they may know the answer after a while, but it still takes them a little bit of time. No one's going to know the answer straight off the bat. So don't get too frustrated if you think it's a simple problem to solve and you're not being able to solve it, or you don't know how to figure out the issue. A lot of the times, most people will run into that. So, you know, Google it, track it down, or ask someone around you. That's probably the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Make sure you try. Don't just go and ask. Actually try and, you know, problem solve, because people aren't going to always be there to sort your issues out. Yeah.
Wonderful. We've got I've got MD Ali here. I have recently worked as an implementation specialist at SaaS, cloud-based software, and now I am willing to pursue my career as BI consultant. Awesome, Ali. That's wonderful. So if you haven't registered already, you can pop over to industryconnect.org and register your interest in our BI data analyst job ready program, and one of the team will be in touch with you, Ali. Okay, so that's wonderful. That's awesome. Great tips. Thank you, Antonella. Awesome. And Filip, thank you so much, guys, for your tips and everything. Everyone, I don't see any comments, so we're going to just wrap everything up. Thank you guys so much for being on here and sharing your journey and everything with us. So anyone that wants to comment or are watching the replay, just put #replay in any of your comments. We will get back to you if you're wanting to ask anything after we have finished the live, okay? So thanks, Antonella and Filip. Thank you so much for joining us again, and all the best in your careers.
Thank you. And you're welcome.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you again next time.
Bye.